guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're out here on Layton Lakes, and we are going to be finding all of our whitetail zones. Today I'm going to show you exactly what I do, where I go, and how I find all of my whitetail zones here in Layton Lakes. Hopefully it will help you to more easily find your whitetail zones. If you do enjoy the video, guys, make sure to hit that like button. If you'd like to join us for more daily Call the Wild content, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the notify bell. And we're gonna head right into it. Now let me know in the comments, guys, if you do struggle to find your whitetail zones. And if you are doing a grind right now, let me know how it's going. Would love to hear from you. All right, so I do have a route that I follow basically when I'm just starting out. And if you are on console right now, you would have had your whitetail population reset back on August 31st when the update dropped and Rancho for console. And there's our zone. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, I am going to set up with tents and tripods, but I'm not gonna shoot anything until I have found all of my zones, because we are only gonna farm 8 to 10 zones here in Layton. But yeah, in Rancho, it's just so different. You have all your zones all squished together, 8 lakes to farm on, and that's it. You're not gonna find whitetail anywhere else. But here in Layton, they can be absolutely anywhere on any piece of water, and look how much water there is on this map. So it is a much more complicated venture to find your zones in Layton. It's a lot harder and a lot more time consuming. But it has to be done, so let's do it. And it is very, very tempting to shoot deer while you're out here, but leave your weapon back. Don't even bring one if it is going to be too tempting for you. Now I like to put my tripod at about 150 meters away, and I like to put my tent about 250 meters away from the zone. Now you can only put 16 tents down on each map and 32 tripods, guys, so keep that in mind when you are setting up for your grind. Sometimes tents have to be used for multiple zones. And of course, finding a flat piece of land can be interesting. Okay guys, so we just found another zone here, and this is this lake right here, just below the top right lake. And I had a tent here already from the last grind, and there is our whitetail zone. So 12 to 16, with the last update, a lot of the zones, most of the zones here in Layton have changed, and we get an extra hour. So now we have 4 to 4.5 hours for drink time for whitetail here in Layton, which is pretty sweet. Wouldn't it be nice to find an initial spawn great one? That is a pipe dream for Lady. Well, I don't mind earning it, but 5,000 deer, please be less than 5,000 deer. That was kind of insane. But yeah, this is a good lake for whitetail. Definitely check this lake. And it is smart to drop a tent here even if you don't have whitetail, because my guess is that you will eventually get a zone of whitetail on this lake. So guys, while I'm running around and finding my zones, the only thing I actually carry with me is the M1 and my Apex View binoculars, and I carry tents and tripods. Now I am not actually planning to shoot any whitetail, but just in case, I actually don't need the collar, but I do need the M1 in case something interesting does show up. I think that will do. All right. Now guys, the reason you don't actually want to shoot anything while you are going around and finding your zones is because you should only be farming 8 to 10 zones here in Layton. They will respawn back into those 8 to 10 zones, so if you go around shooting deer everywhere, you're going to have to check every single zone for respawns once you do find all your zones, and getting around to 35 to 40 drink zones for whitetail, not an easy thing to do. So just find them, get set up, and once they are all found, then you can farm away. Now, finding zones is something that you will have to continually do throughout this entire grind, and it will take you a lot more time in Layton than it will in Rancho, unfortunately. There are other drawbacks to doing your grind in Rancho. This is a drawback for Layton. One of the benefits for Layton is the super huge drink time, 4 to 4.5 hours. That's pretty awesome. Now we did test the spook radius for tents the other day, and about 275 meters, and we are good to drop that tent, but any closer and they will spook. Now the very furthest away I like to drop my tripod is about 230 meters, because I find if you have it further than that, you may not be able to call them in. All right, so they're 188 meters away. I just dropped a tripod and they are not spooking, so you're definitely good there. I'd say about 175 meters is the closest you should try and drop a tripod. Now, I do like to have a look at exactly what's in each herd. I was gonna say, is that a whitetail level 3? No, definitely not. All right, here they finally come. I know there's a max estimate in here. I know there is. There it is. 2 very shootable bucks. Today's your lucky day, guys. I will be back for you, more than likely. All right, let's find some more. So in Layton, when I am starting to look for my whitetail zones, what I do is I set the time for about 12:30, just after 12:30, so they will be in all their zones. Their zones start at either 12 or 12:30. I start right up here in Willowpeg and I run my way and spot as much as I possibly can, all the way down right to the very bottom down here in Rancho. You also want to run this little area here. I do often have 1 or sometimes 2 whitetail drink zones in this little inlet here. You should have whitetail on Belmont Lake. This is a huge area to search, but you should have at least a couple zones for whitetail in the Belmont swamplands here. And of course, all these little lakes need to be checked. And I mean, you're gonna have to check everywhere, but it's good to check the main parts first. I personally think when you find some of the main zones, some of the other zones then start to pop up. I don't think they're all there from the get-go. I really don't. Okay guys, so when you're out here searching for zones and you find whitetail tracks, that is awesome. You want to follow those tracks. And if you do find whitetail traveling, don't shoot them. Wait till they get into their zones. And this is where the not carrying a rifle is probably a good idea because it is very tempting, but you don't want to shoot them. You want to find their zones. Most important thing. It's not like these rivers have clear-cut sides. There are so many places that zones can be hiding. So you really have to look really well, listen for mating calls, and follow those tracks. Now, as I'm running through, guys, I am picking up my old tents and tripods. And a really great tip is to purchase all the same tents and all the same variation of tripods so that they stack. So I first purchased Arctic just because it was at the top of the list, so I've continued to purchase Arctic. But if this were a different variation, I wouldn't be able to pick it up and carry it with me right now. You definitely want to have the same variation of tent and tripod. It is very important. It's just going to make life way easier for you. Okay guys, so I just dropped the tent right there. I put my tripod here. It's exactly 150 meters from the zone that we just found right here. And it does have perfect sight lines. So let me show you. Okay, so here's our tripod. We should be okay to run and get right up into it without having to slow down. And 150 meters from the zone. Perfect! Whitetail! We found another zone. And it looks to be a pretty big one. And this is definitely a spot that I do often have whitetail. I can remember running out here. I'm not even going to drop a tent. We can run straight from this outpost, and this is Rancho Outpost, and then we'll drop a tripod over here, and we have a zone right here. 1230 to 1600. And look at that, we have a piebald doe as an initial spawn. I don't know if I'd ever want to find an initial spawn great one. I mean, it would be very cool, but at the same time, I don't know. I kind of feel like you need to earn it. I laugh because we had to kill almost 4,600 bucks in Rancho to get that first great one, so I think we did earn it. I don't think I want to earn it that much this time. We will see. We will definitely see how crazy this grind will get. Hopefully we won't have to kill 5,000 deer this time. Hopefully. But that is a beautiful herd. Okay guys, so what I did here was I ran this lake. It is just after 4:30, so whitetail are no longer drinking, and I know they are off and on Peanut Lake. And I don't have whitetail here because it is after their drink time, but we do have a whitetail drink zone here. So that is perfect. So you can find the zones after whitetail drink time is over by finding the zone indicators. And you do have to run the lakes to do that, but that is also a great way to find your zones. Okay, so I actually had to go grab some tents from another spot on the map, and I actually put the time back, and I am back here to put a tent. Don't see any whitetail there right now, but that's all right. We do have a zone. This should be good. Perfect. All right, so this is where we are. Peanut Lake. So there's my tent, my tripod, and my zone, and that one's from 12 to 1600, and that's what I call Peanut Lake. Look at that, we have some whitetail coming out, so we're gonna have a zone here for sure. Isn't that sweet? Look at all the shootable bucks. So I am just gonna follow these guys. We are gonna follow them. But here guys, what I have right here for you, this is a map of where all of my zones were in Layton for my last grind. I haven't found them all for this grind. I'm just in the process of starting to find them, and it is gonna take me some time to find them all. But I thought this could help you to find your zones. Now all of the spots, I know I had a huge amount of zones, and I was farming all of them, but you don't need to farm all of them, but it is so important that you do find all of them, because your grind will not go smoothly until you do. Until you have all of your zones found, your whitetail can respawn into a random zone that you aren't farming, and that means your great one, when he spawns, could be anywhere on your map, not just in your 8 to 10 zones. So it is so important that you find all of your zones, but this should definitely help you with where to look to get started. And I really hope that this does help you to find your whitetail zones. If you did enjoy the video, guys, I'm gonna ask you to do one thing: smash that like button, and if you'd like to join us for more daily Call the Wild content, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the notify bell, and we will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.